Welcome to the Date with Confidence podcast, a place to come for dating advice, support, and stories that'll either fill you with hope or relief that your dating experience wasn't as bad as it could have been. With practical episodes that'll provide you with easy to implement tips to help you feel confident AF on your next date, alongside lighthearted catch-ups where your host Rebecca, that's me by the way, shares her own experience dating after 4 years of the single life. You are guaranteed to end each episode feeling less alone in your dating struggles, empowered to never settle again, and confident that the best is yet to come. And if it all falls to shit, there's a special first season dedicated to breakups. You are welcome, my friend. Subscribe, review, and share with your single friends. I am a big fan and have been a big fan of the love languages for quite some time now. And if you are a student of the confidence course, you'll know that it's something that I talk about a lot in module 4, I think it is, when it comes to like self-care and improving your self-love and stuff. I am a fan of the love languages. I think they're a great tool to help you improve your relationship. I think they're a great tool to help you improve your relationship with yourself. And when I first learned about the love languages, parts of my life started to make sense. So the whole premise is this idea that we give and receive love in 5 types of way. So physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, and gifts. And when I learned about the love languages and was able to look back on my life and my childhood and understand why there were times where I didn't necessarily feel loved, I could see that the people who loved me, like family members, were showing me their love in the way that felt good to them, but that wasn't necessarily my top love languages. So I didn't always receive love from them in the way that it was intended. For example, I was quite often bought gifts or given money, and I know that that was certain family members' ways of showing me their love, supporting me, caring for me. But my top 2 love languages are physical touch and quality time. So if I wasn't getting a lot of time with people, the people that I love, then I wouldn't necessarily feel loved. So this is something that I like to have conversations with people about. This is something that I, when entering into a relationship or when I'm dating someone, when I'm getting to know them, I am interested in knowing what their love languages are to ensure that I am showing up for them in the way that they need to feel loved or cared for. Likewise, I like to share my love languages with the person that I'm seeing, which, FYI, are quality time and physical touch, which I think I might have actually said a second ago, so that they understand how to show me that they care about me. Because it's all very well dating someone who just buys you loads of presents all the time, but if I'm not getting the cuddles or the hand holding or the leg stroking or the kisses on the forehead, if I'm not getting those physical touches or the quality time where it's just the 2 of us and the focus is on us and spending time together, then you could buy me all the presents in the world. I'm not going to feel like you actually love me or you actually care for me. So I had this conversation with the guy that I'm seeing at the moment. I was talking to him about this the other week when I went to stay, and I'd asked him about it before. I was like, I really want to know what your love languages are, and he was like, no, it's bullshit. And I was like, but I really want to know because I'm curious. Like, I don't know how to best show my affection towards you. Obviously, I can behave in the way that I like to receive affection, but I want to make sure that I'm also hitting your love language as well, because I personally feel like that creates a deeper connection and it shows that thoughtfulness around okay, I'm actually taking into consideration what is going to work for you. So I asked him again, I just want to know what your love languages are. And he was just like, I actually think this is bullshit. How can you decide that there are just 5 ways to show affection? He was like, I found an article where it says there's actually 7 types of love language. And I was like, yeah, but for the purpose of this conversation, I don't care about the 7. I want to know what these 5 are. But it led to, as I said, quite an interesting debate. And I'm very much a big picture, bird's eye view, grey thinker. I don't see things as black or white for the majority of the time. There are certain things that are very much black or white, right or wrong to me, obviously. But I'm also very open to other people's perspectives, other people's opinions, and alternative perspectives. Like, I'm open to hearing other people's points of view, and I believe that there are grey areas sometimes. So I was interested to hear his perspective, and what his thoughts were that relying on these 5 love languages can actually be more damaging to a relationship, because if you focus too much on the top 2 and neglect the other important areas, then whilst you might be showing your love in certain ways, like, we all require a combination of the love languages at some point. So if all you ever do, for example, if all he ever did was hug me and spend quality time with me, but then if I needed a drink, he didn't make it for me, or if he was cooking dinner, he wouldn't make it for me, or he never told me I looked good, or he never complimented my outfit, or never told me that I felt attractive, then that would cause an issue. But then I couldn't really blame him for that, because I would have told him, these are the 2 things that are most important for me. So it's almost like you neglect the other 3, if that makes sense. And I, to a certain extent, agree with him. What his argument is that we should be putting 20% effort into all 5 of the love languages. So we should be complimenting our partners on a daily basis, trying to make time for that, or making that quality time, doing the physical touching, the small gestures, the small, intimate, like non-sexual forms of contact, the acts of service, like making a cup of tea for our partner, all those kind of little things. And then gifts, although he's like completely not into gifts at all, so he was like, don't ever buy me anything. But I can see where he's coming from, and I think this alternative perspective is a reminder to us to not neglect the love languages that aren't as important to ourselves and to our partner. But maybe for me, I still think some kind of prioritization to the top 2, to your partner's top 2, is still important. So I think it's good to know what your love languages are. Personally, I still believe that. I still believe that it can be very beneficial to a relationship, and to find out what your partner's love languages are, but then to also make sure that we're being kind and considerate and doing things regularly to please them, and not to please them from a place of, oh, you've got to keep your partner pleased, but because you want to make a positive impact on on their lives. Like, you want to do nice things for someone that you care about. Likewise, in the confidence course, I talk about the love languages and how I use the love languages for myself. So for me, knowing that my top 2 are physical touch and quality time, I make quality time for myself. So whether that's taking myself out on a date, whether that's having an evening in my room journaling with candles lit, or soaking in the bath for an hour, whether it's things like moisturising from head to toe, doing my skincare routine, giving myself a little massage here and there, I make sure that I do those things for myself regularly. And I also do other things for myself, like I'm regularly complimenting myself, I'm regularly telling myself nice things about me. I do things for myself, like today, for example, I tidied my room. That was an act of service for myself because it was stressing me out. Likewise, I buy stuff for myself. That's not as important for me to feel relaxed or calm or like I love myself. The gifts aren't as important as the quality time with myself. That's why I like a lot of alone time, because I need that time to just be with me. But I think remembering this and yeah, I think trying to deliver the 5 love languages to yourself and to your partner can be really beneficial. Not losing sight of the importance of all 5 of them, while still acknowledging and understanding what the person's top 2 are. I still think it can be really beneficial, but I wanted to offer this alternative perspective just in case it's something that actually hit home for you. And I think with any tools like this, any tools like the love languages, If it is something that resonates with you, if it's something that makes sense, if it's something that you like the sound of, then absolutely use it to enhance your relationship, either with a partner or with yourself. But if you listen to it and you think that's a load of bollocks, then don't do it. Don't take any notice of it. Like, you don't have to implement something into your relationship if it is not something that you necessarily agree with, unless it's something that's important to your partner. Obviously, if the two of you think it's a load of bollocks, then don't try and force it into your relationship. If there is one part of you, if there is one person in the partnership who says, actually, this is really important to me, then I feel like the other person should make some kind of effort to acknowledge that and to honour that. And that doesn't mean that they need to have the love languages shoved down their throat or whatever, but it is something that I think is worth just being aware of for the sake of your partner. So let me know how this landed. Let me know if this was interesting for you. Do you agree? Do you think that love languages are a load of crap? Or do you think that they actually enhance your relationship? I'd love to know what your love languages are. So send me a message on Instagram. You can message me on my personal Instagram at RebeccaLucyH, or you can come over to the Date with Confidence podcast Instagram, which is at Date with Confidence podcast. Don't forget, you can contribute to the Date with Confidence podcast when you go to datewithconfidencepodcast.com/contribute. Don't forget to check the show notes for resources that will help enhance your love life. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for listening to the Date with Confidence podcast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Subscribe, rate and review, and share it with your single friends.